Good morning, my friends. It is the 12th of October 2021. I'm here in Milan, in Italy. When you're traveling to Zurich in Switzerland, you normally would take the direct Eurocity train, which takes over just 3 hours. But if you have the time, there's a much more spectacular way to travel to Switzerland via the Bernina Pass. Thank you for joining me in this video, and let's begin our alternative trip to Switzerland.
The majestic building of Milano Centrale, what a place to start your journey. The Eurocity to Switzerland departs a couple of times a day. For the alternative route, you can take either the 9:20 regional express train to Tirano, or the next one at 10:20 in the morning. This depends on how long you want to stroll around in Tirano, as that will be our stopover town for this trip. Be aware that if you want to do this trip, you will more or less just have one time option to travel the route via the Bernina Pass. Oh, and fun thing, my 9:20 train got cancelled, so we just take the next one to Tirano. It's Italy after all. The route itself is quite scenic, but once we are in Switzerland the views will be even more spectacular. After a ride of 2.5 hours, you arrive at this cute Italian village near the Swiss border. Exit the Trenitalia station, and on the opposite side you'll find the station of the Rhaetian Railway, or better known as the Rhaetische Bahn in the German language. If in any need, you can store your luggage at the station for 8 Swiss francs per item at the ticket office.
We have arrived at Tirano, and we have some hours to kill before our Bernina Express train departs from the station behind me. So let's head out for lunch.
The village of Tirano is quite worth your time. You can visit some churches, walk along the promenade, and have a good lunch before your train departure. There are numerous restaurants serving express lunch, but I've decided to visit a bakery that also sells slices of pizza. Link is in the description if you want to visit it too.
The pizza lunch was great, and because we are in Italy, I of course had to buy gelato.
So now more about the Bernina Express while we are boarding. The Glacier and Bernina Express are both one of the most famous panoramic train journeys you can do in Switzerland, the latter being a bit less expensive. The Bernina Express connects the city of Chur in Switzerland with the Italian town of Tirano via the Bernina Pass, one time a day during the low season and up to 5 times during the summer. If you want to have a seat in the panoramic coaches, a reservation beside your ticket is required, but you only need the basic fare when you take a seat in the first 3 coaches of the train. And without sounding too nerdy, I mean the part that is pulling the carriages, or the unit in the front. The train features both first and standard class seats. I'll be taking a ride in the first class panoramic coach, which is in a 2+1 configuration. The Bernina Railway is filled with many scenic spots and points of interest. The first one comes as soon as we are leaving Tirano. The train goes over a roundabout and pretend it's a tram riding alongside cars, a phenomenon you will also find in many other places in Swiss. Although we're still in Italy at the moment. The next famous spot is the spiral viaduct of Brusio, just before reaching the station of Brusio. The train loops around so it can achieve a steeper climb up the mountain. After passing by the lake and town of Possiafo, the climb game really starts. Tirano is at 429 meters above sea level, and we are heading towards Ospizio Bernina at a height of 2253 meters. In just over 1.5 hours, the train will climb a stunning 1824 meters. That's almost 2 kilometers in height, and mind you, the train does not have any help of a cable pulling it, not even a cogwheel on rack, which is common for mountainous railway lines. All the power comes solely from the train, and that's quite impressive with steep inclines of up to 7% on this line. You see the lake down there on the left? That's Lake Posiafo we passed by a minute ago in the video. It's surreal to think that we have climbed that much height in just under 30 minutes. After the station of Alps, we will go into a tunnel and then come out at Lago Bianco, the highest point of the railway at 2253 meters above sea level. There is a station here called Ospizio Bernina, but our train will be skipping it. After passing the station, the descent begins. By the way, just pay attention to how much the scenery has changed because of the altitude. It feels like we have entered a different world. The last major site of the Bernina Express road is the Landwasser Viaduct. We will pass by it just after leaving Filisur station, a viaduct that goes straight into the mountains. What a sight to behold. While we are descending the mountains, let's talk about the ticket fare from Milan to Zurich with the Bernina Express. Cost-wise, it's obviously very expensive to buy the basic fare for this route, but if you have an Interrail or Euro Pass, this whole trip costs you nothing extra, besides a travel day. Well, except if you want to sit in the panoramic coaches, then it is just a 20 up to 26 Swiss francs reservation fee, depending on the season. The line flattens out as we meet the River Rhine, meaning we will be arriving in Chur soon. The journey with the Bernina Express takes 3 hours and 56 minutes. While we are heading to Zurich, let's recap the journey. The whole trip from Milan to Zurich with the Bernina Express will take 9 hours and 33 minutes, including a 1.5 hour stopover in Tirano. If you have a day to spare in your itinerary when traveling from Italy to Switzerland, please do this amazing trip by the Bernina Railway. No other railway can beat the view you get on this one for sure.
So I've checked in my hotel. Thank you very much for coming along today with the Bernina Express. It's been an absolute fantastic trip. Thank you so much for joining. Take care guys, and we will see each other in the next video.